You were never supposed to speak the words. The ink was barely dry on the forbidden pages, the candlelight flickering, as if it too wanted to flee. But you did it anyway, and now the air around you shudders. The sky turns black, not like night, but like something deeper, something wrong. The spell is cast, and the universe is deciding what it will take in return. Fire, endless, unstoppable fire. Not the kind that flickers in a hearth, not the kind that warms your hands on a cold night. This fire doesn't consume wood or coal. It devours history. There was once a city that ruled the world, Valyria, the mightiest empire ever built, where sorcerers shaped mountains, where dragons bent to human will, where magic flowed through the streets like water. And then, one day, it was gone. Not conquered, not overthrown, not defeated by armies, destroyed in an instant by something far worse, the doom. No one knows exactly what was cast. Maybe it was a spell meant to bind the dragons, to give them more power than even the gods could control. Maybe it was an accident, one wizard reaching too far, one incantation too strong. Or maybe it wasn't a single spell at all. Maybe it was thousands. All we know is that the earth itself split open. The sky rained fire. Mountains exploded into ash. And Valyria, the greatest empire of its time, was reduced to nothing but ruins and ghosts. The spell they cast that day, it worked too well. And now, no one dares speak its name. Some spells make you suffer. Some twist your bones, rip apart your mind, leave you begging for death. But this one doesn't give you time to scream. 2 words, a whisper of green light, and then silence. The killing curse, Avada Kedavra. Magic is supposed to be complex. Rituals, symbols, power drawn from years of study. But this is too easy. A child with a wand can say the words. A monster with a wand can say them too. There's no counterspell, no shield strong enough. The only defense is luck. And even then, only one person has ever survived it. One moment, you exist. The next, you don't. And the worst part, it doesn't feel like anything. No pain, no suffering, no last-second realization of what's coming. You're just gone. And for those left behind, all that remains is an empty space where you once stood. Some spells burn, some kill, but this one does something worse. It doesn't destroy, it erases. A single word, a single breath, and whatever it's spoken to simply vanishes. Not dead, not broken, not turned to dust, just gone, as if it was never there in the first place. The word of unmaking is said to be the most powerful spell ever created. The problem? No one knows its limit. A whisper might erase a pebble. A shout might erase a city. And if someone speaks it too loudly, would it take the world? The universe? Maybe someone already cast it. Maybe that's why there are places in history where entire civilizations are missing. Maybe that's why there are names we've forgotten, cities that don't exist anymore, gaps in reality where something should be but isn't. And maybe, just maybe, Someone, somewhere, is still searching for that word. Or worse, maybe they've already found it. Some spells don't require wands, runes, or ancient scrolls. Some magic is spoken, and some words should never be spoken at all. Before Sauron, there was Morgoth, the first and greatest Dark Lord, the one who twisted creation itself. He didn't just command armies, he commanded language. His words were poison. His voice could bend reality, and those who heard his speech didn't just listen to it, they became it. The black speech of Morgoth was no ordinary tongue. To hear it was to feel it sinking into your bones, reshaping your thoughts. The words alone could break minds, turn the strongest warriors into lifeless husks, willing slaves to their master's will, and if you dared to speak it, the corruption became permanent. It wasn't just a language, it was a curse, and it never stopped whispering, not even when you tried to sleep. You want knowledge, you want power. That's why you sought out the ritual, isn't it? It's simple enough. A candle, a phrase written in a forgotten language. You say the words, and the world shifts. At first nothing happens. Then you blink, and suddenly you see. Not with your eyes, not even with your mind. You see in a way that human beings weren't designed to see. The sky is deeper than it should be. The stars are moving. No, watching. The air has patterns, and the world was never real in the first place. You were never real in the first place. You try to close your eyes, but the problem is, you no longer have eyes. You no longer have anything at all. There are symbols older than time, carved into stone, etched into forgotten temples. The Elder Sign is one of them, a rune meant to protect against cosmic horrors, to shield the mind from what lurks in the void. If drawn correctly, it works. It keeps the nightmares out. The problem? Most people don't draw it correctly. One wrong line, one imperfect curve, and the Elder Sign doesn't stop the horrors. It invites them in. The unlucky souls who get it wrong don't always disappear. Some are found, curled in corners, whispering in languages they never knew. Others are found with their own symbols carved into their skin, trying desperately to fix what they did wrong. And the rest, they're never found at all. Most spells change the world. This one erases it. Not fire, not decay, not even death, just nothingness, as if whatever was there never existed at all. There are rumors of an ancient order, sorcerers who sought to rewrite history itself. They didn't want power. They didn't want conquest. They wanted to erase the world. They whispered a spell, a simple chant, in a language older than time, and one by one, things vanished. A tree, a river, a city, a civilization. And then, one day, the order was gone too. Not dead, not defeated, just missing, like they never existed, like they erased themselves. Some spells don't target a single person. Some spread like wildfire, unstoppable, untouchable, impossible to contain. The blood plague of Azeroth was never meant to escape. It was a curse, placed on a single enemy deep within an ancient temple. A punishment, a controlled infection. But magic doesn't care about rules. The plague leaked into the world, spreading from one person to another. It infected entire cities. Wizards, warriors, kings. It didn't matter. No cure, no barrier. Not even death could stop it, because the moment you thought you were safe, someone else brought it back. The streets filled with bodies. Travelers fled, carrying the curse with them. And for a time, the world itself seemed doomed. In the end, it burned itself out. But the terrifying part, this wasn't just a story. It actually happened. It happened in World of Warcraft. But still, the way it spread, the way people unknowingly carried the infection, the way entire towns fell apart. Scientists even used it to study real-world pandemics. And that raises a question. If a fictional plague could cause chaos in a digital world, what would happen if someone cast the real thing? Some spells burn, some kill, some corrupt the soul. But the most dangerous spell of all, it's not one that destroys, it's one that tempts. The most dangerous magic isn't the kind that forces you to act. It's the kind that waits, whispering in the back of your mind, waiting for the moment you're desperate enough, selfish enough, reckless enough to say the words. Would you cast a spell that could give you everything you ever wanted, knowing it might take everything else in return? Would you cast a spell that could erase your past mistakes, if it meant erasing yourself too? Would you risk it? Would you speak the words, or have you already? These aren't just fantasy. These are warnings, because every spell, every piece of magic, every source of power comes with a price. And the question is never if you can pay it. It's when the magic decides it's time to collect. And if you listen closely, you can already hear the whisper. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.